Hey, if you're anything like me, you probably love growing your construction business and you love self-improvement, making yourself better and better every single year. Now, one way that you can do that is by reading books. And I've got 5 tips on books that are going to absolutely transform your construction business. They made a huge difference to my business and my personal development. And I think if I share these with you, hopefully you'll get some tips out of this as well. Now, if you don't know me, my name's Greg Wilkes. I've got over 30 years in construction and we successfully scale companies from 1 to 5 million. I've been able to create 4 multi-7-figure businesses for myself. So let me tell you today my top 5 books that have literally transformed and had the biggest impact on my business journey. And I want to really show you how these books can help you overcome some of the challenges you may face. They may help you streamline your operations and ultimately boost your profitability. So the first book that I absolutely love is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Now, this is first on the list because this book is absolutely incredible. It's not just a story of how to build a brand, which Nike clearly were able to build an amazing brand, but it's about having the resilience, grit, and power of a relentless work ethic. The founder of Nike, Phil Knight, is absolutely relentless in his pursuit of creating a great company. So his journey really shows us the importance of persistence. He faced everything from rejection, cash flow issues, the fear of failure, but he kept pushing forward. He never let that stop him. So for you as a construction business owner, the same lesson is essential, isn't it? Because this industry, let's face it, is tough, isn't it? And you have to keep persisting. You're going to face difficult cash flow issues. You're going to have to push through these barriers. And if you do, it can lead to breakthrough moments like it did for Nike. Now, when I first started personally, I faced the same struggles, financing projects, managing cash flow, and really reading about Knight's challenges made me realize that this is actually just all part of the journey. And his story really inspired me to look for creative solutions to my own issues, like, renegotiating supplier terms, getting longer to pay for your materials, or securing better client payment terms so they paid quicker than you were paying out your suppliers. But one big takeaway from this book, Shoe Dog, is not just about Knight's successes, but it's also about the sacrifices he made. And this is probably the biggest lesson out of the lot. He revealed that one of his biggest regrets was not spending enough time with his family. So in his pursuit of greatness, he prioritized Nike over his personal relationships. And that was something that he later wished that he balanced a little bit differently. And really, that's a powerful reminder, isn't it, for all of us, what is most important to us as we're chasing our business success. Don't leave people behind. Certainly don't leave your family behind. The second book that was amazing was Good to Great by Jim Collins. So this is quite an old book, but this is fantastic because it dives into what separates good companies from great ones. And the answer might surprise you. It's not just about revenue, it's about having disciplined people with the same thoughts and the same actions. Now, one of Collins' key concepts is getting the right people in the right seats on the bus. So what that means is building a team where every person in your company is perfectly suited to their role, and that creates a strong, cohesive company going forward. So think about that for you in your business. Think about your project managers, your site leads, your support staff, all those roles. We want them all to be able to thrive and contribute to the bigger picture because they're all sitting in the perfect role for them. The other thing too that this book was amazing at was that he talked about having a BHAG goal, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And that's something I've always applied throughout my life, personal life and business life, is having that big 10-year goal that feels a little bit scary, a little bit audacious to try and go for it. But you really want to have a goal like that, because if you write that goal down, especially in business, and everyone knows what you're going for and it's quite an inspiring goal, then everyone aligns behind it, and it's going to be much more likely that you're going to be able to achieve that goal if you set one like that. Now, after applying the advice in Jim Collins' book about really aligning the team and getting the right people on the bus, I was able to build a great team around these strengths, and I didn't take on every single project that was offered. We only pursued the ones where we could add the most value, which improved our profitability and, of course, our customer satisfaction. So lots of takeaways in that book, Good to Great. So just before I tell you about the next 3 books, if you're finding these insights helpful, give this video a thumbs up and maybe comment below on what is your favorite business book out of the 5 that I'm going to give you. So next, on to number 3. This book, again, is a bit of an old book, and I really liked reading this one as an audio book, actually, rather than just on paper. And this book's called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. Now, it gives you powerful lessons on how to manage your finances, both business and personal finances, which is a must takeaway skill for any business owner. And one of the key principles is paying yourself first. So he stresses the importance of saving a portion of all the income you earn and make sure that you're paying yourself first. Now, in construction, we know cash flow can be a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes it's tempting to reinvest back into the business, or everything back into the business. Let's go and buy myself a new truck. Let's get myself some new tools. But building yourself a personal financial buffer can give you real peace of mind and stability. Now, as soon as I read this book, I started following this principle, and I was setting aside not only just business profits aside, but I was also setting personal money aside and paying myself. I was investing in myself and investing in index funds and different things like that. And I was able to build up savings super quick, both in the business and personally. So it's a really good book on financial discipline. And as you're growing your company, you don't want to invest everything back into it. Make sure you pay yourself and make sure your own personal wealth is growing at the same time. Book number 4 is by a real inspirational figure of mine. That's Richard Branson, and his book was called Losing My Virginity. And what this book is all about is the boldness and risks that Richard Branson took, which obviously as entrepreneurs we have to do these things, but the real interesting thing about Branson's risks was that they were always calculated risks. And he had this attitude of, screw it, let's do it. And it meant take some risk, but be prepared in the risks that you're taking. So you want to be calculating the risks you're doing. So of course, in your construction business, you may have to take risks. You might take on a bigger project than maybe you've built before, and that's a little bit of a risk, but if you've calculated it, then that's great. Now, one of the big risks that Richard Branson took was when he launched Virgin Atlantic, and it was going to compete with the giant British Airways. And at the time, they were just invincible. British Airways, pretty much backed by the British government. Everyone thought that this was completely reckless, but Branson calculated the risk. He worked out what was the demand, what was the potential market, what was his brand strengths, and he made a strategic move that felt super risky, but because it was calculated, it ended up being an absolutely huge success. So that book was really inspiring. It's just great to see all his business ventures and the attitude he had, and that's clearly why he's a multi-billionaire. And again, if you want some more tips on thriving in the construction industry, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we'll be doing more and more videos like this that can benefit you and your business. So book number 5, Buy Back Your Time, and that's by Dan Martell. Been following Dan Martell for quite a while, and it's been amazing to see his business growth. But this book is a game changer for business owners who want to scale but without sacrificing their personal lives. Now, Martell explains that true business success is all about buying back your time, paying money to get your time back. So for construction business owners, that means a few things. One of the things it means is that you've got to create systems that allow you to focus on growth rather than being stuck in the daily operations. Absolutely crucial. And the book's all about finding freedom within success. He highlights why you want to buy yourself a good EA, an executive assistant, or a PA, personal assistant. They are crucial to help you manage your load and keep your time focused on those higher level tasks rather than those small mundane tasks. We've done a ton of videos on how to get rid of your mundane tasks too, so make sure you watch them also. But one of the things he talks about in buying back your time is setting up an email system. So what you really want to do is have email folders. One of the folders might be to delegate, to review, to archive, and he's got all these different folders that he lists out in his book, and you get your personal assistant to go in. They go into your inbox, they look at your 100 emails, and then they file all your emails away every single day for you, and you just go into your correct folder and deal with the emails that you have to. It's a great tip. I've implemented this in my businesses. Our clients are implementing it in their businesses, and it really is a fantastic way of buying back your time and getting some time back rather than being stuck in your inbox. But there's loads more tips in that book, so make sure you go and check that one out. bonus tip, bonus book that you want to go and get yourself. Now this book is actually free if you go onto my website. It's called Building Your Future by myself, Greg Wilkes. This is a #1 best-selling book on Amazon, and if you want a hard copy you can go on Amazon and buy it, but if you want a free copy, a digital copy, pop onto my website and you can go and get that. Now this book is a completely tailored guide for construction business owners. It shows you how to break through that £1 million barrier and create a £5 million company, and we talk about 7 principles there, everything from having a roadmap, having streamlined operations, attracting clients, creating more profit. All of that is covered just for construction business owners, and it will give you some really sound principles for growth there. Again, that's something I've implemented into my business, and a lot of our clients are doing that and having huge success themselves. So let's just recap those 5 books for you. Shoe Dog, Good to Great, The Richest Man in Babylon, Losing My Virginity, Buy Back Your Time. Each of those offer really powerful insights on how you can scale, how you can manage your finances, and how you can lead your company with confidence. So which one of these books are you going to add to your reading list? If you're going on holiday next, make sure you pick one of these up. Let me know in your comments, and if you found any value in this video, like it and share it with any of your construction buddies that might find it useful.